Hi, my name's Jeanette and I'm the co-founder and CEO of HEX. We are really excited to be your facilitators for the Future Founders Festival Hackathon hosted by the State Library of Victoria. We are all about empowering students and new generation leaders and people that are starting great startups and businesses, and we can't wait to work with you. So what we've done today is brought together the incredible Eleanor Smith, who is project lead of community and culture at HEX. Eleanor, hi.
Hi, how are you going?
And the incredible Sho Iqbal, who is the CEO and founder of S for Satellites and a HEX alumni. Hi, Sho.
Hey.
Now, you are both multi-hackathon winners, and I thought you'd be the perfect people to come and join me on this little chat to talk about how to hackathon and what it actually is. So, Sho, I might throw to you first. In just a couple of sentences, what is a hackathon and why are we doing this?
So a hackathon is a competition where you're giving in a very limited amount of time to find a solution to a problem. And you're basically competing with a lot of other teams in terms of how good your solution is for your specific problem compared to others. So it's a great way to meet people and collaborate and work on solutions very quickly and iterate and grow.
Eleanor, now you have placed quite highly in previous hackathons. Could you maybe tell me about what kind of mindset should people bring into a hackathon competition?
I think actually one of the most important mindsets to bring into a hackathon is curiosity and a belief that every single team member has something to contribute. I think that's actually one of the main reasons why we've been successful is because we've had teams of diverse people with diverse skill sets.
That's a perfect segue to my next question, which is, we've asked people to identify themselves as 4 kind of archetypes: the hacker, the hipster, the hustler, and the humanist. Now, Sho, could you maybe tell me what a hacker is in your understanding?
In a hackathon perspective, a hacker is someone who actually builds the technology, who builds the tangible MVP, the product that you would put into an early user's hand. They have a lot of, they would usually be bringing in a lot of coding skills, but it doesn't just have to be coding. It just has to be experience with building product and actually putting that product into the hands of people.
Could you tell us what your understanding is of the hipster archetype? What makes a hipster?
Yeah, sure. I mean, when we think of the hipster, we're thinking about, the coffee and the beards and what makes something really palatable to consumers. So really, we're talking about the design elements, how we package it up and make it something that consumers really want to actually engage with.
And Sho, you're the definition of a hustler or the CEO of a business. Tell me what that means to you in that context of a hackathon.
I guess where the hacker builds the product and the hipster makes it look pretty, it's the hustler's job to actually put that product into the hands of people and get feedback and actually put that feedback into the growth of the actual product. It's a very front-facing role where you're doing a lot of sales and a lot of talking to whether it be investors or customers, where you're essentially trying to grow the business around the actual product.
And finally, we have the humanist concept, which is kind of a new one in hackathons. Eleanor, can you tell us what a humanist might do in a hackathon team?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really delving into this idea of tech and humanity and tech ethics that we're now starting to move into as a society. So we're seeing a lot of social enterprise popping up in technology as well, and thinking about the impact of what we build on the world. So the humanist is really taking a holistic approach and making sure that what we're building is good for everybody.
So what we've just heard is that there are so many different types of skills and so many different types of personalities that are important in a hackathon team. So you don't have to be able to know how to code. You don't have to know anything about business to be a successful member of the team. Sho, as somebody who has won, is it 6 hackathons in your time? What tips would you give people about how to win, not just play?
From what I've seen and from the success that I've received in my hackathons is having an all-rounder team. It's not just about, having good tech or having good sales skills, but having both, I would say. And where you have a strong business case around a strong technology stack that's being built. Statistically, that has given me the best success in a hackathon setting.
And Eleanor, could you talk me through some of the great behaviors and practices that you would have put in place with your teams with regards to communication and that kind of thing?
I think the most important thing always is to approach other people with curiosity. So, when you're in a hackathon, you're going to get sleep deprived. You're going to be sometimes working with team members who you don't know very well. And so there'll be a diverse range of opinions that makes a strong team. But that means that sometimes you're going to hear opinions that you don't necessarily agree with. So always approach with curiosity, ask questions. Tell me more is my favorite phrase. So always tell me more, tell me more. And I think if you uncover those reasons why people have strong opinions on things, you're much more likely to come up with something where everyone is on the bus, everyone's on board with what you're building, and then you'll be able to present a much stronger project in the end, basically.
So hackathons are also a really great way to build up work experience. Sho, do you have a few examples of how maybe participating in a hackathon can help set someone up for their, their future career or even future university success?
I started my company out of a hackathon, and that's basically become what my early years of my career have been. It's basically centered around a hackathon project that has now grown itself into a business. But along with that, you're building the skills that are needed in the real world market. You're building your sales skills of actually taking a product from an ideation phase all the way to production and into the hands of the users. Now, those are really valuable skills, regardless of what quadrant you are in, whether you're a humanist, hacker, hipster, hustler. Those skills all together are very important when you're working in much larger businesses where that's your day-to-day job of actually, when you're specifically working in innovation.
I just wondered if I could add another story that we've seen recently where a participant who's not a technical person, she's actually in the legal area, has actually got a job directly off the back of her participation in this hackathon that we just ran, where she posted on LinkedIn about this experience, and then they approached her, and as part of her interview, they were asking about, what experience do you have with dealing with tight deadlines? How can you show us that you're resourceful? And a hackathon is the perfect way to be able to demonstrate your ability with both of those things, which is something that so many businesses are looking for. A hackathon is a great way to be able to demonstrate your skills before you've necessarily got a whole lot of work experience.
That's such a great example. So hackathon's great for your career, whether you are starting your job or looking for a job. This particular hackathon is going to run from 8 a.m. on Saturday, the 28th of August until 8 p.m. on Sunday, the 29th of August. And we will take you through the process of ideation through to producing a pitch for our judges. This means there'll be some workshops, there'll be a couple of industry speakers from the tech scene, and we'll also put you into teams using technology like Slack and other things like that. There'll be some prizes up for grabs too. Stay tuned on those.
And Jeanette, can you tell us a little bit about how the teams are going to be formed?
Yes, I can. So when people are registering online, we are now collecting all of your details, including what kind of archetype you think you fit into. We will then put you into a Slack channel on a few days before the hackathon starts. And that's your opportunity to share with the whole group, whether you have an idea and you're looking for team members, or you have skills and you're looking for an idea. And so there'll be some kind of organic team formation happening online. And if there's anybody that hasn't found a team before we start, the night before we start, we will help place you into the team that fits your skills and interests.
And Jeanette, when can we expect to be invited to the Slack group?
Online registrations will close on Monday, the 23rd of August, and we will send you invitations to the Slack group on Wednesday, the 25th of August. Any final words of advice for our future hackathon participants, Sho?
I think first hackathons are always very special. They expose you to an experience that is very unique. It's a very different environment when you're actually hacking away, when you're doing that work. And I can't think of a better way to spend a weekend than doing a hackathon.
Eleanor, any final words of advice or inspiration for future hackathon participants?
My final word of advice is just really fall in love with whoever your target audience is and try to just understand deeply what it is that you're helping them to solve. Just always look at everything through their eyes, and then it'll help, with all of the decisions that you're making through the weekend.
Fantastic. We can't wait to meet you at the Future Founders Festival Hackathon. Get your registrations in by Monday, the 23rd of August, and we will see you soon.